Right. So if you watch any of my videos, I do lots of videos about Linux. And basically in those videos, I normally show off a bit of AI. So what I thought I'd do is a more sort of focused video on AI, but it's on Linux. But I mean, a lot of the things I'm going to talk about are quite repeatable on Windows and Mac. But before we dive into that, I just want to talk about AI for a second because it's a very interesting subject. Currently, probably before you watch this video or during you watching this video, there'll be some inane advert about turning due dates to due dates, or you're using ChatGPT like Google or something, which is trying to get you to go off and engage in some AI generated thing that someone's created as a tool, some kind of time analysis thing, or you're just not using the platforms correctly, or this kind of business. Now, a lot of this is just nonsense, just sheer nonsense. This whole gold rush for this, for the applications that come out of AI is just fundamentally a lot of nonsense. There's a great saying: if there's a gold rush, make shovels. And the people who are benefiting from this is like NVIDIA and the tech companies, because we're all running around trying to build AI applications and things like this and get to know it, and they make all the hardware, so they're benefiting. But the point I'm trying to make here is, people have been told that AI is going to change your life. It will change your life, but not quite in the dramatic, we're all going to lose our jobs kind of way that you see portrayed online. There's a really good analogy. AI is like a new version of the Industrial Revolution. So there used to be a field with 100 people picking potatoes, and then some guy invents the tractor that picks the potatoes. So a lot of people aren't required anymore, but then there's still a team of people driving the tractor, say 10 of them, and that tractor now picks up potatoes, but there's a smaller team. So that other 90 goes off and loses their job. Not really, they just retrain to do something else, or they retrain to drive the tractor. And what we're all doing with AI now is we're retraining to drive the tractor. It's like the internet. Before the internet, how do we communicate? How do we do? Now we can communicate, and the internet is just part of what we do. And that's what AI will become. So there's so much hype, and it's a bit of like a gold rush, and you can make millions out of it, all that sort of stuff. But there's a bit more to it than that. There's like, just learn how to use it. And a lot of the people are diving headlong into using AI, and they are asking what clients actually want to do with it, and where is it purposeful. They're trying to overlay an AI thing onto everything, and some of it's not required. The fundamental thing from AI that's going to happen is you're always going to need humans. You're always going to need human input to control it. I can't see a point where they're going to let it run free. I mean, you send off agents to do stuff, but they're never quite right. And I mean, I've developed quite a few sort of AI apps and stuff, and I've seen all the bump online about it and all the things you can do, but they never quite work just like the demo. There's a lot more. And when you deal with clients with AI and things like that, there's so many more variables. So it's not the path to goal that's all been portrayed, but all that hyperbole to one side, we can use it on a day-to-day basis. And the problem I face, or I feel that people are faced with at the moment, it's become like the new Netflix, Disney, Hulu sort of subscription model, where we're all subscribing. We've got our ChatGPT subscription, we've got that subscription, and there's points, and then they say ChatGPT-5 is the best one, and you go, I must have that. So again, it's now they're getting you to spend more money competitively, but can you really tell the difference between the chicken recipe that you got from ChatGPT-4 and the chicken recipe that you got from ChatGPT-5? So there's a ways around this to sort of save your money, and you only need to subscribe to it when you really do need to subscribe to it. And when you do, you need to find a model that sort of works for you and does what you want. And as for the application part, like they're selling agents, that just doesn't work. There's we've been doing some quite funny tests, like find me the cheapest airline ticket, and you can tell by the way a lot of websites obviously are monetized by advertising. So they're not going to let an AI go in, find the answers from their website, and then give them back to you, because they lose their ad revenue. So you're losing out those sources. So that kind of stuff is, not that fantastic at the moment. Although it's been hyped, it's amazing. It's not that good. And there's the other part of it. It's like Google now, who know that they're going to be losing ad revenue because you are using ChatGPT like Google, now built an AI to the top end of a Google search, so you can see it straight there. So there's so much gone. But I mean, what we can do is we can sort of tamp this down. You can do some stuff locally, and obviously then you can choose the model that you want to use in the cloud. So this is a Linux desktop. I'm using a thing called Bluefin. Now, you obviously, yeah, you can do Windows, you can do Mac. This is just easy. This is a free operating system. The overhead on Linux systems is a lot lower than Windows and Mac in the first place, and they're not sending much telemetry back. There's a little bit, I think, with Bluefin, but it's free, and most of what I'll show you is free. But what we'll do is we'll dive in with the usual suspects. So obviously, this is Claude, and Claude costs X amount of money a month, and it's got various tools. I can attach things to it, connectors, all those kind of things. You use a style. You've got these tools, and you've got two major models. You've got Claude Sonnet 4, and you've got Claude Opus, which is the large, complicated one. So, let's just give it a quick task. Tell me, oh, I've got to bang your desktop. Tell me a story about pirates and potatoes. Potatoes is a recurring theme here, I think, now. I mentioned the potatoes in the Industrial Revolution. Let's give it a chance. Off it goes. Now, it'll try and it's sparkling away there, and it's going to give me pondering, and it'll give me a story. Now, obviously, in this, you can ask it tons of questions. So I could ask it my potential chicken recipe. I could ask it, all sorts of stuff, but it's not necessarily real time. Their knowledge is cut off. The web is real time, but this isn't. So look at this. It's doing the Crew of the Crimson Serpent, New World, targeting potato ships. Brilliant, but it's not very long. But yeah, so you can dive deeper. You can hit research mode, or you can do the quicker model. But you all know how to use this, right? Okay, there's all sorts of stuff you can do with it. Now, the other one is obviously ChatGPT-5. Now, obviously, I've got models up here. I don't know if you get all these. I've got subscribed to it, but only for testing purposes. But say ChatGPT, so you've got all your toys with this as well. You can add files and more, so you can create images, deep research modes, web search. You have to actually ask for a web search. So tell me a story about potatoes. I've spelled that wrong, but it's AI, it'll know. And pirates. Spell wrong again, but I'm sure it can work it out. Here we go. Here's a quick fun tale about Captain Blackhook. So let's see. So there you go. It'll just bash out whatever you want it to. You can copy it, like it. You can recycle it again. More actions, branch out to a new chat, and you can get it to read that. So there's loads of toys built in, and that's basically, your online stuff. There's Gemini you can use and all that, but these are both paid. Both models are paid. So let's get rid of that. Now, how do you run local AI language models locally on your computer? Now, it's incredibly easy to do this. So first of all, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to bring up Google again. And what you need to do if this opens, I might have to use Firefox. Let's do Firefox. Okay, so you go to a place called Ollama. You click on this. And this is just really basic. This works on every Linux distribution. You just copy that command. You go into terminal, and you just put it in there, and it downloads a thing called Ollama. Now, if you don't know what Ollama is like a back-end engine that allows you to run large language models. And once you've got access to that, you can access to the free models that they've got online. And there's loads of them. ChatGPT recently has released 2 models, which are quite powerful and free, and they fit perfectly inside a 16 gigabyte graphics card. So when you build your workstation, if you're going to do a lot of AI, get as much video RAM as possible. Now, that's quite scary because obviously that's expensive, but I've got a 5060 Ti in here, which is like a normal gaming card, and you'll see what I can do. So let's get to the point where I've installed Ollama, and I'm going to get it to run. So once it's all installed, done its stuff, you'll see it just follows through. Click Ollama. So now I'm running the engine. So okay, so that's a nightmare. I'm looking at loads of code and loads of text. What I really want to do is talk to the AI and pull down some free models. So there's some great software, and on Linux, I recommend this one. It's called Alpaca. So if you launch Alpaca allows you to select who you talk to. So you can talk, I've already got it connected. It's really easy to connect it. You just click on that, you say it's a local thing, and it runs, but you need to run this in the background. Click save. But you can also get it to chat, do do its own thing. You can get it to chat to open AI, but you need things called API tokens to do this. But we're not going to do that because we want it to be free. But there's tons of ways you can get it to connect to an AI. But the whole thing is we're doing is we're going to make it, we want it to be free. So click cancel. So I've got it running. I've got I pulled down a model called GPT OSS. If you want more models, you can go here. And these are tons of AI models doing various things for you. So Quen, I believe, is to do with coding. You've got Ollama, all sorts of stuff. But right down the bottom here, you've got this one, which is hugely versatile for developers or anything really. And you just put the latest model on there. So there you go. So I've got a model on there, and there it is. So you can just click on it straight away. Now, the problem is I'm recording this on, I think, on OBS. So what happens is if I punch this in, we can just see it uses up. This is why I mentioned about the video RAM. Let's bring a thing up here called mission control. Mission control is going to show me, where is it? Mission control is going to show me, there you are, how much video RAM is being used up, because it's important. What you don't want is the model to spill into normal RAM, because that's a lot slower, or use the CPU very much. So here's my NVIDIA card. Currently, all the way down here, it's using the video RAM. It's using 3 megs. So the moment I punch this in, this could get quite interesting. It may lie. No, so if the video breaks up, I apologize. Tell me, no, let's do this. What's the history of the Great Wall of China? So now what it's going to do is it's going to load the model into memory. There you go. You see the gigantic spike up here. That's gone into memory. So it's using 14 gig of memory. And then there should be a big jump in CPU utilization. And that's it trying to answer my question. So keep going, give it a sec. Once it's in memory, it sits there. And that can be problematic. But so once we've got this up, we just ask it a load of questions like I just did. So there we go. So now it's trying to answer. It's gone up to, it's trying it. Going to get an answer in a second. Yeah, it's not this slow all the time. It's got to get that memory, that model into memory. And it's going for it. CPU utilization. That's taken a while. Been fiddling around the computer all morning. It's probably going to crash now, I would imagine. But it's trying it. Is it going to do it? There we go. Okay, now when I ask it the next questions, it should be quicker. There we go. It's given me all the history of the Great Wall of China, which is great. Okay, there you go. And out it comes, not too slow, similar speeds to ChatGPT. And it's just going. So let's just stop that. Now, the model should be in memory. So if I ask it for tell me a story about pirates and potatoes, it should now do that quite quickly, he says. Still thinking about it. There you go. That's a lot quicker. So now it's going to bang out my story. So you can see a little bit longer wait, but I bet the quality of that story, my potato thing, is just as good as the one I got from ChatGPT. But this is all free. I've done this for nothing. It's cost me no money apart from the electricity. So using these kind of toys, you can get a lot done. I mean, I'll ask it the typical, you don't need as well. This is a 12 billion parameter, 20 billion parameter model. So it's very powerful. You don't actually need all of these sort of toys all the time. A lot of people use ChatGPT for, find me recipe for chicken, who did this. If you need to ask it questions, you can ask this and it costs you nothing. And if you think about what you truly use ChatGPT for online, then you'll sort of come to the understanding that you're probably paying for something you don't really need once you've got one of these locally. So, I mean, okay, so it's done that. But these are super clever, and this is where it becomes, interesting for coding and things like that, because like create a HTML game with a game of tic-tac-toe. So it can write HTML, it can write JavaScript, it can write all the major programming languages straight off the bat. And I haven't not reaching out any further here, am I? I'm just doing it in doing it locally. There's nothing going to the cloud or anything like that. Here you go. Single file, and it's just generated a HTML game, and I'm sure it'll play. So you can start to see that you can do an awful lot just locally. Now, a lot of you, like, people download documents and they use it for summaries and all those kind of things. People just paste it into ChatGPT. It's like a reflex action to just go to ChatGPT. If you run something like this, you know, if you can live with a smaller model, maybe Gemma 3, one of the smaller models, you can do all that stuff. People, you know, the parameters, it's 20 billion parameters is a lot. Here we go. Here's my, let's just try that. Okay, so is that going to run it? Here we go. Tic-tac-toe. That one. Current turn. Okay. Let's do that. Rewrite. So I can play you. Let's get rid of that. And then let's see if we can get it to, so I can play the computer. So you can see you've got all these tools built into, you know, I'm writing a game with, here we go. Lets you play a game against me, the assistant. Min-max, a classic min-max algorithm. Now, the thing is, this isn't costing, you know, as I said, it's not costing me any money. I've just sat here. Sorry, I had a government emergency alarm went off. That's so bizarre. I did get an alert about that. Okay, so now it's writing the game. Here we go, just watch it rumble out the code. Hopefully this is still recording. And hopefully it'll let me play it out for you. It's incredibly complicated. It looks incredibly complicated. But I mean, right, here we go. Let's see if it works. This is written all out. Let's just play it. Here's my game. Your turn. Okay. Ooh. That's the dumbest thing. That's the dumbest thing. This is the dumbest move. Hang on, let's start with that one. Oh. Yeah, reset game to try and bait the AI. Oh. It's going to take me. There's got to be a way. So there you go. The only winning move with you is not to play. So there you go. There you go. I've just written a tic-tac-toe game versus an AI. How long did that take? 3 minutes. So that's just on locally. I've not used anything in the cloud. So you sort of start to see that if you know what you want to ask for, you're right. Together we're in a drawish situation. So only winning strategy for a human is not to play at all, or to let the computer make the first move and hope it blunders, which it never does. He says it hasn't got a sense of humor. Anyway, so that's Alpaca. That's desktop. And you can see just with a cheap graphics card, it's a £300 graphics card. And running that Ollama thing in the background, there's an enormous amount of power here. And obviously I've not even got into the realms of document retrieval and things like that. You can literally play to your heart's content with this. And yeah, I bet you it can give it to a new chat. Okay. Let's just do roast me a chicken. So again, yeah. So back to this. I mean, there are other ways to do this. You know, you've got ChatGPT, you've got all this stuff online, but as you see from this, you can just keep it locally on your computer, and you don't need to do it. Now, I'm going to shut this. This is a really simple way of doing it. If you want to, if it's not simple, there's a little bit of code involved, and there's a little bit of you know, of these things of setup. But there's an easier app you can use. So let's just get rid of this. Close. And it's probably not going to like that I did that. And then let's close the Ollama down. So now, close. I should get all my video memory back. There it is. And then there's this. You can download this, which is called Firefox LM Studio, which is probably, a lot of people have seen this. It's easy. You just download it it runs on Windows, Mac, and it's the same interface. You can move between them. So once you've downloaded it on Linux, you come in here and you go to your downloads, and then I've got LM Studio. And then you have to, if it's the first time you've done it, just if you don't know how to do this, go into permissions, and you need to make it, oh, he said, got the right bit, properties, execute, there it is, so I missed it totally, it's GNOME, execute as a program. So now I can run it. And what an app image is, it brings down all the dependencies with it, so it's no installation process. So let's launch that. And again, I've already installed, let's select the model. I've already installed OpenAI GPT. Let's have a look at our video memory. Should ramp up a bit here. It's going into memory. But there's a lot more control on this, and there's a lot more levels you can go with it. So this, I've got a basic chat window, got a developer mode, which gives you a playground and all this sort of stuff. But if you're just doing basic LLM work, you know, Alpaca is what you need. So in here we are. So here's my chat window. Let's just do a new chat and run that one, and we'll just say create an HTML game of tick tack toe. So over here you'll see it. There you go, up into the CPU. Three by three board game. Again, it writes, and you can sort of see that. I mean, a little bit faster than that, a little bit faster to load. All these things are written for free, remember, so you've got a little bit of leeway on them. But so you can, I mean, this will give me my chicken recipe. This will do. This is the fundamentals of what you can do with AI. You know, you can write code, you can ask it questions, you can interrogate documents, and the next one we do is, you know, generate some images. So you then, further down the line, when I do another one of these, we can interlink it with things online, like connectors and stuff like that, and get it to actually interact with the internet. So I don't know if you can do it in this one. I've not played with this. Edit message, branch, conversation. Doesn't give me a window like the last one did. The other one gave me a great window, didn't it, to play? So maybe not so nice, but it's more technical, and it's more you can do more with it, he says. And you can go in here and there's a model search. So there you go, there's all the models, and it suggests some for you, and it actually tells you which ones are partial offload. It tells you which ones will work in your model. Best match, most downloaded. There it is, the 20 billion parameter OpenAI one is very much the one that people are using. So there's two very simple ways to just get rid of that. Get LLMs locally, and I've done very little to do this. I would recommend using Linux to do this because it's free, and as you can see, it's all built and designed for this. There's no other stuff going on top of it. But yeah, so I'll do one about image generation. But as you can see, I mean, this machine, this workstation, is fundamentally. Let's just bring up the specs of the machine. Oh, it's up here. Let's bring that one. So system settings. Let's go back up to that one. About. Okay, so I've got a system details. I've got a 32 gig of memory. It's a Ryzen 9 chip and a 5060 Ti. So, I mean, this whole rig costs about £1,000. So you can see that, you know, with a minimal setup and configuration, I mean, I literally just installed Bluefin, installed some programs, and now I've got an LLM AI workstation just to play with. And it just be as capable as doing image generation as well. So there you go. So AI, it's, I'm sure I'm going to be preceded by an advert by someone trying to sell you an AI product of some kind. Take it at your own pace. Install it on your own machine. Have a play with it, and don't spend too much money on it. Work out what you need it to do for you. Don't be frightened. I think the thing is don't be frightened of it. They're just going to take over your life. I think the key takeaway from this is work out how it will make your life simpler. And, and then you follow that area and go, okay, for me, I mean, I get loads of spreadsheets and stuff. I just built a prompt, processed the spreadsheets, turns them into reasonable information that goes back to a client. Now, I don't need ChatGPT to do that. I can do it on here. It costs me no money at all. But yeah, so there you go, AI and an AI workstation. I hope that's been of some use. I haven't wobbled on there too much, but it's not something to be feared, AI. It's something to just take control of for you. Make sure that you know what you want to do with it, and don't get sucked in with all the theatre and drama that's going on around it, really. Anyway, I hope that's been of some use to you. Let me know in the comments if you've got any questions about this setup or anything at all, really. And I'm going to give you the obligatory like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.